everybody, this is Mark Rep, Technology Trainer of the Port Huron Area School District, and it's time for another tech tip. Today, it's a crash course in using the Recordex SimplicityCam document camera. This is the document camera that we purchased with bond money a couple of years ago. So what I'm going to show you today is, like I said, a crash course in how to use this gadget to your advantage and some workflow scenarios that may help you a lot. So I'm going to start by opening up the document camera software, which is called X-Sight HD. It's right on my desktop here, and I'm going to double click on it, and that's going to open up the software, which includes such things as annotation tools, zooming tools, and also some tweaks that you can use to make your picture show up much better on your screen. So I'm going to do that right now. First of all, I'm going to go down to the bottom left corner. This is actually called the Options button. Bottom left corner, when I click on that, it's going to bring up the options. And I'm going to start by showing you a troubleshooting tip that we've discovered. Majority of the desktops in the district do not have webcams. If for any reason this checkbox is checked, which says enable picture-in-picture mode, requires a second camera to be attached, that is exactly correct. If it doesn't have that second camera, then if it gets checked, it's going to crash your software and it's going to crash your document camera. So if you see this checkbox is checked and you don't have a webcam on your computer, then you're going to be in big trouble right away. Your document camera simply is not going to work. So you'll want to uncheck that, and immediately your document camera will work much better. So simply click Save, and that setting will be applied, and you should be back up and running. Now I'm going to go back down to the options again and show you some more settings that are important. One is the audio option down here. You see audio device. By default, everyone gets none, which means you cannot record your voice with this device unless you turn it on. And the good news is you can turn it on yourself, since most of the computers in the district now do not have deep freeze. If you go to audio device and instead of choosing none, you'll want to choose microphone array Recordex USA. Now I'm using a headset microphone to record this right now, so I have some additional options, but you're probably only going to have one option, and that will be microphone array Recordex USA. So click on that option and you can now record your voice. Up here where it says video device 1, you'll want to make sure that your video device is Recordex USA. If you have a webcam and you go to the drop down, you'll see USB video device. Now what most people will choose is the default, obviously, which would be Recordex USA, and that's your document camera. If you had a webcam, you could enable picture-in-picture. But I'm going to go with the default, which is Recordex USA. Now I'm going to click Save again, and I'm going to take you to the next troubleshooting tip. And that is that I have a document under my camera right now, and if I zoom in, you'll notice that it becomes somewhat distorted. I can even go to the top of the document camera and I can move the little focus knob. It might show up a little bit clearer, but still you'll notice that the picture is not that great. And when I zoom in and I click and drag down, I can focus in on something and zoom in, but it still is not a very clear picture. So immediately many teachers throw up their hands and they say, this document camera is a piece of junk. Well, it's actually not. In all actuality, if you go to your options again, to the bottom left corner, we're getting used to that area, and you go to your video size, the default setting for some people may be 640 by 480, which is actually a very bad setting for this camera. If you click the drop-down arrow and you go to a much higher setting, depending on how large your monitor is, these choices will be different. But I'm going to go to a much better option than 640 by 480, which is 1280 by 1024. The point being that you can double and even triple your screen resolution size. So I'm going to go to 1280 by 1024 just to show you the difference in screen quality. I'm going to click Save, and watch how the resolution immediately clears up right before your eyes just by changing that one setting. Now we have a much clearer camera picture. And if I click the plus sign down at the bottom of the software, you'll see that I really can zoom in now. Suddenly this document camera isn't so bad after all, is it? If I zoom in a little bit more, you can see that I can get quite tight with that 1280 by 1024 screen resolution. Now on to a tip. I'm going to take a picture of this particular image by using the built-in document camera snapshot feature. As I go down to the bottom of the software, you'll see that there's a picture of a little camera or a projector icon, and when I click on that button, it will immediately take a picture. I'll take another picture. And now you can see that I have that same picture twice, and it shows up over here in my side panel along with any other documents that I had that are compatible with the Recordex software, which may have been on my H drive. I'm going to double click and open up that picture, and you'll see that it opens up in Windows Photo Viewer, which is not necessarily the software that you want to open it in. So I'm going to go to where it says Open right here, and in Windows 7 you can choose a different program to edit this photo. I'm going to choose Microsoft Office 2010. When I click on that, it will take me to Office 2010 Picture Manager, which actually has a photo editing program built right into it. I'm going to click Edit Pictures, and now I can edit this photo and I can crop out any pieces of it that I don't want. So if I click the cropping tool over at the right, I'm going to click Crop. I can now go to the bottom of that photo, click, hold, and drag up to get rid of the bottom of that photo. And if I don't like anything else on this, I can actually click, hold, and drag again and crop out anything that I don't want from that photo. When I'm done, I can click OK, and now I've edited that photo and cropped out the portions of it that I don't want. I can resave it by clicking File, Save As. I'm going to save it to my desktop or to my pictures. And then I don't need to be stuck with that long time-stamped file name. I can change it to something else. I'll call it Schedule, and I'll click and save it to my desktop. I'll close that window, and I'll close that window, and now I have my live image back up on my screen. I'm going to show you something else that I can do with this software. Down at the bottom in the button area here, I can take a snap set. When I click Snap Set, what this will do is allow me to set up my snap set file. I'm going to go with the defaults and click Next. Now I'm going to move this manual snap set window over to the bottom right corner where I'll have easy access to it. And now I'll zoom out on the image that I currently have on the screen. Now maybe I want to take a picture of that right now. I'm going to click Add Snapshot. When I click Add Snapshot, it immediately snaps a photo of whatever is under my document camera at the time. Now I have another document that I want to take a picture of. This is a different document, but this may be student work. If you're an art teacher, for example, and you want to take a picture of a student portfolio and collect several pictures that that student has created, for example, or student writing, if you're an ELA teacher, or any other type of student document examples, and you want to create a live portfolio because we all know that the portfolio is on the teacher evaluation, this is a quick way to put together one document of student examples for any students in your class. So I'm going to add another snapshot. This may be, in your case, another document from the same student. I'm going to click Add Snapshot, and I now have two snapshots that are going to go into the same document. I could have 7 or 8 different documents, for example, but I only have time right now to do 2. So I'm going to create a snap set. And you can see now by the number 2 right here in the bottom right corner of that window that I have 2 pictures that will be included in one document. So when I click Create Snap Set, it will spit out a PDF document that contains 2 images. Now you'll see that the document I just created rises to the top of my document list. I can double click on that and it will open in Adobe Reader. Now if I click the arrow in Adobe Reader, it will go to the next page, and you see I have a 2-page document. If I click over here to the left, you'll see my thumbnails show that I have a 2-page document. And that's how easy it is to quickly create a document with the Snapset feature in the Recordex X-Site HD Viewer. And that is today's tech tip using the Recordex USA X-Site HD Viewer and the SimplicityCam document camera. I've shown you some troubleshooting tips, a good workflow of using your camera, and ways that you can correct problems that you may come across in the future. Join me again for another tech tip. I'm Mark Repp.